I love the vision. I think that you're right at the convergence of some amazing events.
That's right.
And because of that, you're kind of riding the tip of the wave that's just really emerging. It's
Right.
not, it's nowhere near mature. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on where things are going, and look forward to looking at that. I had a few questions from some of the
Sure.
folks that I reached out to. One of the questions was very interesting, it's I've got a couple more that I want to ask you, but
Sure.
one that came from John was really this whole concept of maintaining your culture, through the high growth. You've got this financial risk that adds a layer of uncertainty, to the top layer of management, which trickles
Sure.
down. But there's a cultural thing here going on, and I know from knowing several people who've worked with you and for you that you've got a fantastic culture there. Speak a little bit to over the last 10 years during all this growth and bringing in other stakeholders and things you've had to do to really support the growth. How do you maintain the culture, and what advice do you have for entrepreneurs who want to do the same thing?
You know, the culture, every company has a different culture. It's the nature of the personalities and the visions and the dreams of the founders or the early joiners. I didn't found New Chapter, but Herb Lewis and I kind of feel that we were there for a rebirth of the company in 1999, and so some companies have a culture where they're a culture of no culture, where it's just all about money and all about eat what you kill, and it's not particularly a charming environment, but that's their culture. Some people have cultures that are more Napoleonic, where there's royalty, and then there are the serfs and the servants, and New Chapter is a very democratic, progressive. I think we have a bit of a Vermont touchy-feely attitude. We take very good care of each other. It's not a paternalistic thing where we're taking care of them. We're all taking care of each other. And there's we have a farm in Costa Rica. All of our employees go down to our farm in Costa Rica to work the farm, to experience the rainforest. But it's so much broader than that. Our philanthropic commitments, our social responsibility. It's baked into our DNA, Robert. And how did that happen? I think it happened because the founders of the company have a strong emotional vision, strong emotional commitment to these things that they hold dear, and that all of us who join the company hold dear. We all have brought new energy to that culture, but it's something that we work on. I wouldn't say that we work on it like we sit down and say, how do we position ourselves so that we look like we have a healthy culture? It's more like in a happy family and a happy marriage, it's very natural to be concerned for everyone else.
Right.
I think it's who we are as a company, and I've learned a lot from Paul and Barbie Schulich about a love and a nourishment for everyone in the company. I would hope that they've learned a lot from me and from Herb and from others. And every hire has to fit. I mean, we hired someone who is now not only our chief financial officer, but our president, Mark Gavin. And I really want to make sure that I cover this, because it would be so incomplete without mentioning Mark and all of our members in senior management. And I know this is not the time for me to go on and on about each of the members, but Mark in particular, we hired him about 5 years ago, and he was a president. He was a chief financial officer. He's had a divisional operating group responsibilities at major bank holding companies, but he's a finance guy. He's an MBA finance guy, worked in the bank holding world, worked in a public computer software company. He is brilliant, extraordinary, indispensable to us, but he didn't have background in an organic farm, in a dietary supplement business, but he brought a skill set to us that now when we look out and make decisions, we're looking out 3 years. We not just looking out 3 years. We got the roadmaps. We've got every day. We have how does this affect our month, our quarter, our year, our 3 year. Mm-hmm. Now we have a very sophisticated, readily accessible, understandable bank of information for our decision making. But Mark, I tease him because Mark is politically of a different cloth than am I, and I often joke that I cannot believe that the president of my company is, and I won't tell what political party he's private.
We can't guess, Tom. We have no idea.
Right, you have no idea. But we joke about it. It's because he is so fundamental to our culture, because he was able to come in and align his heart and thinking with our culture. So that's really important.
Absolutely. Yeah, we could talk another hour on hiring the right people, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, I don't want to.
No, seriously, but I hear you. I mean, I think some of the biggest lessons I learned as CEO were when I hired the wrong people, when I rushed the hire, and then some of the, where I can hang my hat as success has a lot to do with the right person in the right position. And I've heard you talk about that over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, they make the company, and by reflected light, me look good every single day. Absolutely. Whether it's marketing or in science or everywhere you look, the people we brought in have been extraordinary. And if they weren't, then they go.
Right. And that's tough for some entrepreneurs, right? I mean, that's very tough.
You have to know when to cut the losses.